Welcome to The Explainer. So, getting a computer science degree is obviously highly coveted, right? But what does the day-to-day grind actually look like? Today, we are taking a complete, objective, and incredibly detailed look at the four-year computer science and engineering program over at VIT Bhopal. If you've ever found yourself wondering what genuinely happens inside this specific degree, how the curriculum is really structured, and most importantly, what it takes to actually succeed, well, you're exactly in the right place. We're going to break down the source material to give you the clearest picture possible. But before we get into the nuts and bolts, let me ask you a really critical question. What does it take to stand out in a massive sea of computer science students? Because honestly, that's the reality today. Getting a piece of paper is one thing, but truly mastering the craft in a highly competitive environment, that requires strategy. It requires discipline. And you need to know exactly how to navigate the academic system you're stepping into. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for tracing the journey from day one all the way to hiring and beyond. We've got 1. The blueprint, program overview. 2. The four-year academic journey. 3. Building skills and projects. 4. Career prospects and placements. And finally, 5. Strengths, challenges, and tips. Kicking things off with Section 1, the blueprint, program overview. Let's lay down the foundational rules of this degree. Now, the absolute backbone of the academic structure here is the FFCS, which stands for the Fully Flexible Credit System. And the magic word here is, you guessed it, flexible. Instead of being handed a rigid, one-size-fits-all timetable, this framework actually allows you to choose your elective subjects, select your preferred faculty members, and sometimes even pick your own class timings. It's a massive selling point because it gives you incredible control over your academic path. You basically get to tailor your learning to your specific interests, whether that happens to be AI, cybersecurity, or data science. To actually earn that degree, you're going to need to accumulate somewhere between 160 to 170 credits over the 4 years. But keep in mind, these credits aren't just from sitting in lecture halls nodding along. They represent a really carefully balanced mix of university core courses, heavy engineering fundamentals, professional electives, and of course, hands-on labs and many projects. It's a comprehensive workload, for sure, but it's designed to build you up from a total novice into a fully capable engineer. Moving right along to Section 2, the four-year academic journey. Let's trace the actual chronological path here. I want you to think of these 4 years as distinct levels in a video game that you have to conquer. Year 1 is all about foundation building. You're tackling the basics, calculus, discrete mathematics, physics, and your very first problem-solving and programming classes, which are usually in Python. Then you level up to Year 2. This is the core CS intensive phase, and honestly, it is notorious for being the heaviest grind. You're facing intense, make-or-break subjects like data structures and algorithms, object-oriented programming, and operating systems. Surviving that, we move into Year 3, advanced computing and electives. Thanks to that flexible credit system we talked about, you get to choose your specializations here. Maybe you go all in on artificial intelligence, machine learning, or cloud computing. And finally, the boss level, Year 4. Industry prep and capstone. Your focus heavily shifts toward industrial internships, major capstone projects, and just getting totally ready for the job market. All right, let's look at Section 3, building skills and projects. This is where theory meets reality. Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer breadth of the tech stack you can get exposed to. You aren't just learning one language. You start with the core 4, Python, C, C++, and Java. From there, you move into the web and database realms with SQL, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But depending on those electives you choose through the FFCS, you could be getting hands-on with cutting-edge tools like Docker and Kubernetes, diving super deep into AI with TensorFlow and PyTorch, or even exploring blockchain frameworks. So your ultimate skill set really becomes as unique as the electives you select. And listen, you absolutely cannot just memorize your way through this degree. Continuous evaluation truly drives this entire program. Passing isn't just about cramming the night before for a written end-of-semester exam. No way. It requires continuous, practical application. You're going to be assessed on quizzes, daily coding exercises, extensive work in specialized programming and AI labs, hackathons, and constant mini projects. You literally have to prove you can actually build things, which is exactly what employers want to see. Which brings us to the ultimate goal for most of you. Section 4. Career prospects and placements. Let's prep for the placement boss battle. So while the university does have a dedicated placement cell that coordinates campus recruitment, securing top-tier roles like cloud engineer, data scientist, or machine learning engineer is heavily dependent on your individual preparation outside of regular classes. Mastering data structures and algorithms, or DSA, is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to be grinding on platforms like LeetCode, CodeChef, and HackerRank in your free time. You also need to practice aptitude tests, go through mock interviews, and if you're aiming for advanced roles, you really need to deeply understand system design. The university provides the platform, sure, but you have to build that strong resume yourself. Now for a serious reality check. Section 5. Strengths, Challenges, and Tips. Let's look at what it actually takes to succeed. Objectively speaking, the strengths of this program are undeniable. You get a highly comprehensive curriculum, fantastic elective flexibility, a rigorous practical coding focus, and a ton of technical clubs to join and network in. However, we have to acknowledge the challenges. There is a massive student intake, and that naturally creates fierce competition for those top placements. Plus, alumni note that faculty quality can sometimes vary between courses, and the remote campus location just might not be for everyone. The crucial takeaway here is that your outcomes are going to vary wildly based on your own personal effort. Because of that fierce competition, you need a strategy. Consider this your ultimate cheat sheet for winning the B.Tech game. Step 1. Maintain a CGPA of 8.5 or higher to keep all your doors open. 2. Master DSA. 3. Build a robust public GitHub portfolio that showcases your original projects. 4. Secure 2 to 3 internships before you graduate. 5. Compete in and try to win hackathons. And 6. Get advanced certifications in hot fields like cloud, AI, or cybersecurity. If you check these specific boxes, you are absolutely going to stand out from the crowd. And this brilliantly illustrates the overall verdict based on the source material. The curriculum, programming focus, and elective flexibility score an incredible 9 out of 10. Practical learning and industry readiness sit at a strong 8.5, alongside solid research opportunities at an 8. However, placement potential is rated an 8 out of 10. Why? Because that potential is entirely dependent on you. The university hands you an incredibly strong set of tools and opens the door. But your coding skills, your projects, and your dedicated interview prep are what actually lock in the job offer. Which leaves us right back where we started, but hopefully with a brand new perspective. So, do you have the discipline to build your own path to success in a highly competitive environment? The B.Tech CSE program at VIT Bhopal offers a remarkably solid, flexible foundation in modern computer science. It has all the raw materials you could possibly need. But guys, it is not a magic ticket. You, the student, must actively seize these opportunities, grind through those coding labs, and carve out your own success story. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this deep dive gave you the clarity you need to map out your academic future.